let's kind of talk about the NFC East right here. In the offseason, I do my predictions. I predicted the Philadelphia Eagles to win the division at 10-6. I predicted that Dallas would go 9-7 and miss the playoffs. I said Dallas is the most overrated team in all football. I still stand by that. Not sold on that team. I do think that they could prove me wrong just because this division is up for grabs. It's very close. The NFC East always comes down to the wire. There's always a new team winning that division. I kind of went against history, by picking Philadelphia to go back to back and win this division. You're an Eagles fan, so I know you probably were excited about that. But, I said that Eagles 10-6, Dallas 9-7, Washington 7-9, and New York Giants 4-12. I think that we can both kind of agree that New York is kind of the odd team out. Yeah, Joe Judge, rookie head coach, Saquon Barkley's out due to injury. Daniel Jones, 1 minute a flash, but the next minute there's a fumble, there's a turnover. I like Daniel Jones, but I'm still kind of in pause mode with him, wait and see. So, Reagan, I got to ask you, man. I know your Eagles have looked bad, but I like Carson Wentz. I like Doug Peterson. I think the Rams are better than I thought they were. I'm not going to give, Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson too much of a pass for losing to Washington just because they had a 17-point lead. But I don't know. I just trust that the Eagles will get it together despite the injuries. They're the most injury-riddled team last year, and they still found a way to win the division. And I don't know. I just can't trust Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy to pull through. I'm not completely sold on McCarthy. I've numerous times on the show said that I'm not a big Dak Prescott fan. Be honest, because actually I think that last time you were on the show, you actually picked the Cowboys to win the division. I could be wrong.
That sounds like something I would have done. I do think they're the most talented team in football. So I think I probably said Dallas winning the division and then the Eagles making a wild card.
Where do you stand? Where do you stand currently right now?
I do think Dallas wins the division. At the way the Eagles are going, man, I'm not sure if they can make the playoffs with this team. And I said it last time I was on the show. It's either going to go really well for this team or it's going to go really badly because they've committed to their ceiling, and in doing so, they've increased the volatility of the team. And right now, we've seen about as worse as it could get. Jalen Rager's out, and they're going to have to do a lot of 12 personnel, and that kind of goes against what Carson Wentz's tendencies to want to do, which is throw that thing downfield and let it fly a little bit. I think this Eagles team is one that I was thinking about this a lot this week because I knew I was coming on the show. They're not good hunters at all. They're not good when they're the hunted at all. When they have expectations that they're supposed to be a good team, that they're supposed to be one of the better teams in the league, they fold. They fold. And we've seen it in years where they were supposed to be good and then they look terrible and then teams counted them out. And now that they're the hunters, now that they don't have the target on their back, they're the ones shooting the arrows. Great team. And Doug Peterson, he's one of those dudes that, when he gets into a mentality that he doesn't have anything to lose, that's when his best play calling gets done, because that's when, he starts taking risks. That's when he starts, doing things and being creative with his offense that he wouldn't normally do. Don't be surprised if you see Jalen Hurts start stepping on that field in the near future. I see that coming the way the Eagles are going. I've seen this team dig itself into some pretty bad holes before, but I've also seen them dig themselves out of these holes. So I'm not going to be the one to count them out, but at the same time, I'm not feeling very confident as a fan right now.
Does your gut tell you that they're going to make the playoffs? Are they a playoff team?
No.
They're not a playoff team as of today. You think they're going to make the playoffs?
As of today, man, these injuries are a killer, man. And it's one thing when they happen over the course of a season and you get somewhat of a foundation to build upon, and then you start having to plug dudes in later. When you come off the jump, off the bat, Dillard out for the season, Miles Sanders, he's fortunately recovered. But when you come off the bat and you have a depleted offensive line, man, that is tough. Like I just said, trenches win games. And right now, offensively, they're going to lose just about every game that they play in the trenches, man. So it's going to have to take some real heroics from Carson Wentz if this team's to be a playoff team. But the way their schedule looks and the way they've looked thus far, I don't see it.
Yep, it's getting rough for Philadelphia. Carson Wentz, I expected him to maybe take a step this year. He's kind of, taking that step back a little bit. I understand there are injuries. We'll get to Carson Wentz a little bit later down the road. Personally, I'm going to still roll with the Eagles to win the division. But hey, man, I definitely could be wrong about that, but we shall see.
I appreciate that, man, because you have more faith in it than I do at this point. I appreciate the faith that you have, but just watching those games, man. As an Eagles fan, there's times where I just have to turn it off. There's times where I can't even watch what's going on the field, man. It's bad.
Well, my team, the Green Bay Packers, we're pretty good. And just so you know, y'all going to lose week 13. You're going to lose week 13. You guys are going to lose week 13.
Oh, no doubt. I can't even dispute that at this point. It's like the way that Packers team has looked, the way Aaron Rodgers, the dude looks the dude looks like the old Aaron Rodgers, right? Last year was somewhat of a down year. You had Devontae Adams out for most of the year, so the dude really didn't have a whole lot to throw to. But people started looking at Aaron Rodgers like the dude was washed or something, which I never got that narrative. I don't think he's the dude that he used to be. I wouldn't put him in the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, but the dude is still a very talented dude, and he's one of those guys that I'm never going to count out. There are certain dudes, and Brady used to be one of them. We'll get to that later. I don't think Brady's in that echelon anymore. But I'm not going to count out Russell Wilson. I'm not going to count out Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to count out Aaron Rodgers. Those are 3 dudes that I will never bet against. It's so long as they're kicking on the field, man. So Aaron Rodgers, he's looking good, man. He's looking good.
Yeah, no doubt. Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur are definitely clicking. You know, second year in the system, I felt that Green Bay was an 11-5 football team. I think that they're on pace to do some damage, man. Maybe we could get to 12 or 13 wins. I don't know, but we'll see, man. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.